Then that brings us to the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bungles,
And
Bengals.
there's one question on everyone's mind when we think about this team. Is Joe Burrow going to come back and win the Comeback Player of the Year award and much more? Is he going to carry this team? Are they going to be competitive? Are they going to still be a bottom team or what?
I think so. I mean, I think he's my favorite for comeback player of the year, just because of the way
Absolutely.
the team is constructed.
Sure.
They just got him even more weapons. His literal fucking best friend is this new wide receiver. So it's they built the
Yeah.
team for him to succeed through the air.
Creating the LSU championship team.
Basically, honestly, dude. So yeah, he's the guy that I have my eye on for comeback player of the year. I mean, there's 17 games now, guys. He could easily throw for 5,000 yards this season.
Yeah.
He was on pace for like 4,500 last year, so it's not even crazy me saying that.
Yeah. It's just, I guess the next question for this team is okay. Now, there was always the question of like, okay, the reason why Joe Burrow got hurt is because of that offensive line. Now, did they improve it enough? Because obviously we saw what they did in the draft. They
Yeah,
picked Chase over Panay. So is that offensive line improved enough? And,
I think it is. I think it's good enough. Like it's
I
not
mean, I like Riley
garbage.
Reef.
Like
I
yeah,
like that.
Riley. Like is Riley Reef a generational talent? No, but he's better than what they had.
Yeah.
Right? They drafted Jackson Carmen. He's better than what they have at guard right now.
Yeah.
Like everything they got is better than what they had. So
Yeah. I know, obviously you have a lot of Bengals fans in Discord, and Jackson Carmen wasn't on anyone's mind. Like when they were all thinking about like, okay, well, we're going to do this and this and this. They had every single draft pick lined up, predicted, ready to go. Not a single person had Jackson Carmen on their list.
well, the reason for that is because he was listed at tackle. Nobody like unless you did a lot of research, you didn't know that he could play guard. So it's kind of like, why did we just draft another tackle?
Right.
But you do your research and realize that he's perfectly capable of playing guard. Then it changes your mindset. Like, oh damn, okay, now it makes sense. Now they're trying to replace the bum ass
Well,
fucking left guard that injured
okay.
Joe Burrow in the first
Let,
place.
let me let me back up then. Do you think Jackson Carmen was a reach? Because obviously there were other names that were still on the board that were more, I guess, prospected higher than Jackson Carmen.
Um, I mean, it could have been a reach, but after the first round of the draft, it seems like you could reach at any point. Anything could be a reach.
Yeah.
You draft way more based on your team need after the
Yeah.
first round. So
It's true.
if you
I mean,
if
as
you
long as,
reach if you reach you reach, who cares really at that point in the draft?
yeah, I mean, I guess as long as you're doing the basic concept of filling a need and not just getting a player that you don't need. Like if you got another wide receiver after picking Chase, like that's a problem. But I mean, yeah, they fulfilled the need, and that's the basic concept of what you're supposed to do in a draft. So, no, I get it.
Yeah, true.
Now, I guess the next question is okay. Obviously, they decided not to pay Carl Lawson, and he left, went to the Jets, I believe.
Yes, the Jets.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, Jets. And they signed a guy that did really well last year, Trey Hendrickson.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, he was a backup. And the question is he a one-time hit? Is he a one-hit wonder? Is he a bust? Because yeah, you're pretty much paying this kid based on what he did last year. And I kind of already made the point earlier in the podcast, like, you're only as good as your last game. What have you done for me lately? And that's what this game is. So,
Yeah.
did they make a mistake by paying Trey Hendrickson as much as they could have paid Carl Lawson that was already on the team and already proven himself?
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good point. They paid him the same amount, let him walk. I don't know. But Trey Anderson was a stud last year, so I obviously am going to pull for him. But I have no clue if he can do that with without Cam Jordan on the other side. But hey, they drafted Joseph Asai, so you never know really.
Yeah. No, that was a good pick. I did like that.
Yeah, but it's Boomer bust is very strong with that free agency decision because Carl Lawson, you already knew what you had.
And you paid him the same.
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah, I mean, and then we talk about the secondary. So we move from the defensive line to the secondary. So, okay, you got rid of William Jackson III and Alexander, replaced him with Chidobe Awuzie and Mike Hilton. And then Trey Waynes is coming back. So was
Yes.
that a good swap of corners? Like you got rid of WJ3 and Alexander for Chidobe and Mike Hilton. Is that a W?
Could be. I like William Jackson a lot, but I don't. I think with Mike Hilton and Trey Waynes coming in and Awuzie, I think it kind of covers. Mac Alexander was kind of mediocre, but I think they managed to cover that up pretty good.
Well, let's look at it this way. You had Trey Waynes regardless coming back this year. So you're looking at Trey Waynes, WJ3 and Alexander, or Trey Waynes, Chidobe and Mike Hilton. Like which is a better secondary? And you know, was whatever they decided to do with Chidobe and Mike, was that the right thing to do?
Um,
Because either way, you got Trey Waynes.
yeah, no, I mean that's listen. Mike Hilton like ranks as one of the top slot corners in the league every year, so you got Trey and
But William Jackson
Awuzie on the
III
outside.
was a good, I want to say, outside.
Yeah, that's fine, but like I said, you still have Trey and Awuzie in the outside with Mike Hilton in the slot. Um, they have Darius Phillips too. I think they still have Darius Phillips. I'm not 100%
Yeah,
sure,
I think. So, okay.
but
Let me make one more point about this secondary. So let's remember where Chidobe came from, the Cowboys. And they were absolutely god awful on defense and the secondary especially. So I just don't know about Chidobe. I'm not sold on him really at all. I'm sold on Mike. I know what Mike can do. But Chidobe, that's my question for me. Like, I don't know. Just knowing where he came from, what he did over there, and what that defense did last year, coming over here. That's all I have to ask, really.
yeah, we'll
You
have to
know.
find out.
Yeah. All right, and then we'll end it with a definite like we know this guy is good and he's very underrated and is Jesse Bates a top safety? Like I think who had him at what number one? Was it PFF?
So PFF, we all love PFF around here. PFF ranked like Jesse Bates had the highest overall score on their website, but they ranked him going into into year 2021. They ranked him at like ninth, and the reason they gave was because they think he's going to regress at the age of like what 25. So I guess the question is that even accurate? Because like why do they think he's going to regress? Because he plays for the Bengals? I'm confused. Because like if you
I
don't
mean,
watch the Bengals, you don't see Jesse Bates every day. But like Jesse Bates was popping off. He led the league in passes defended. Um, I mean, what else if you're playing safety? What else do you want besides passes defended? Honestly, interceptions are nice too, but as long as you're stopping the pass from being caught, that's your
right,
job.
true.
So
Well, it depends on what kind of safety they want you to be. Do they want you to be run support? Do they want you to be a
oh, he's
Jamal
coverage all the
Adams
way.
type?
Nah, he
You know what I'm
is
saying? Yeah.
he's straight up like kind of like Minka and Marcus Williams and
Well,
those guys. He
sure.
is
Yeah,
straight
we know
up
what he
pass
is,
coverage.
but I guess it's more of a question of what does PFF rank? What did they use to rank their system? Like, do they
Oh,
rank on
they prefer the pass coverage 100%. Jamal Adams was like 15 because he plays linebacker.
right?
Yeah, they want your coverage to be up. They don't care if you fucking rush the passer.
Yeah. So it's just a question of the entire team has a lot of potential. They improved offensive line, very good receiving core.
Hmm.
Joe Burrow's coming back. Um, but I mean, I don't remember what they were ranked as far as like pass rush and like quarterback pressures. But you got Trey Hendrickson, and then you got Osai, and then you got the secondary that we just talked about. So it's just like, okay, so obviously this team should be better than last year hypothetically.
You'd think so. I mean, you can't like, but Joe Burrow is not only going to win 4 games, bro. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no possible way that Joe Burrow with like a top 10 receiving core wins only 4 games. That's got to be like a 7 or 8 win team.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this team could very well, you know, I don't want to say lead the division, but I do definitely think they could take the Steelers. I think they could
The
either sweep
Bengals,
the Steelers or, at least be higher than them in the division rankings.
what the Bengals are now is irritating for all you AFC North fans because they've been an easy beatdown win for the last like decade.
Yeah.
Not really, but like the last 5 years, ever since the Andy Dalton thing flopped.
Yeah.
So now it's just like, God damn it. Now we have to try. We have to wake up for the Bengals now.
Yeah, we got to try it.
And sucks for you guys because that's going to be miserable.
No, I mean,
Defending the Bengals will be miserable because, by the way, they have Joe Mixon.
yeah.
Like it's they can run if they want to. They just don't because Zach Taylor's not the best coach in the world. But hey, maybe he'll turn a new leaf this season. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, if we're just kind of zooming out on this entire division here, like this division is very tough. Very, very competitive.
It's hard to find. Like it's very possible that all these teams are over 500.
I mean,
Now, the only reason I would go against that is because they all have like a top 8 toughest schedule in the NFL. So
pretty sure this division was the only division last year that had 3 of the teams in the playoffs. So,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The records are all going to be. This division is going to be up for grabs in the last week of the season, basically, because you all have to play each other twice, and you have, like I said, every team on here has a top 10 toughest schedule in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you might win this just based on the difficulty of the schedule. You might win this division at like 10-6, or excuse me, 11-6.
Yeah.
People might be like, "Oh, 11-6 is so bad." Like, no, not with the schedule you guys have.